Kinetic theory and topic pressure of an ideal gas. So let us see kinetic theory of an ideal gas. Kinetic theory explains the behavior of gases based on the idea that the gas consists of rapidly moving atoms or molecules. That is, the macroscopic quantities of a gas like pressure, temperature, volume can be explained on the basis of motion of atoms or molecules that comprises that gas. That's why it is said to be kinetic theory. So the behavior of gas, the property of the gas, the characteristics of the gas can be explained on the basis of motion of atoms or molecules. The pressure of a gas can be interpreted in terms of molecular motion. The temperature of the gas can be interpreted in terms of molecular motion. Hence the name kinetic theory of gases. The kinetic theory was developed in the 19th century by Maxwell, Boltzmann, and others. This theory has been remarkably successful. It gives a molecular interpretation of pressure and temperature of a gas and is consistent with gas laws and Avogadro's hypothesis. It correctly explains specific heat capacities of many gases. It also relates measurable properties of gases such as viscosity, conduction, and diffusion with molecular parameters, yielding estimates of molecular sizes and masses. Kinetic theory of gases is based on the molecular picture of matter. A given amount of gas is a collection of large number of molecules that are in incessant random motion. That is, the molecules of a gas are in incessant random motion. This is one of the assumptions of kinetic theory of gases. That is, if we have a container filled with some gas, there the dot represents the molecules of the gas. What do you mean by the incessant motion of molecules? They are in random motion. Frequently they move in all directions, which you could see there. At ordinary pressure and temperature, the average distance between molecule is a factor of 10 or more than the typical size of a molecule. As we all know that the typical size of a molecule is of the order of 2 angstrom. Pressure and temperature, the distance between two molecules is large compared to the size of the molecules. Therefore, the interaction between molecules is negligible. The force of interaction between the molecules is negligible, or the intermolecular forces is negligible. Hence, the molecules will be moving along straight lines. That is in accordance with the Newton's first law of motion. Since there are no forces acting, the molecule will be moving with uniform velocity, meaning they will be moving along a straight line. Here you could see that the motion of the molecules are random, but they are moving along straight lines. However, occasionally they come close to each other, experience intermolecular forces, and their velocities change. That is, if you have a gas taken in a container, as the particles move, there is a probability that these particles may come closer. On their way, they come closer. So once they come closer, intermolecular forces being short range forces, as they come closer, the intermolecular force will come into play, and that will affect the motion of the particles. It will change the velocity of the particle. Change in velocity means maybe the magnitude of the velocity may change, the direction may change, or both. Here we'll have an example. Let us consider two molecules of a gas. Initially they are moving opposite to each other. But you can see there the molecules travel along straight line. As they come closer at a particular distance, their direction of motion gets deviated, their velocity gets deviated. This is because as they come closer, intermolecular force will come into play, and that will change the velocities. These interactions are called collisions. The molecules collide incessantly against each other or with the walls and change their velocities. The collisions are considered to be elastic. This is another assumption, one of the assumptions in kinetic theory. The particles or the identical particles, the tiny particles, they are moving randomly and they may come in collide with each other, and the collision is taken to be elastic. Since that collision is elastic, the total energy during collision is conserved and the total momentum is conserved as usual. In all types of collisions, the linear momentum is conserved because there are no external forces acting on the system. And since that collision is taken to be elastic, the kinetic energy during collision is also conserved. Now, we will express pressure in terms of kinetic theory of gases, that is molecular motion of particles. Consider a monatomic gas of n molecules, each having a mass m inside a cubical container of side length L. Here you could see a cube of side length L containing a monoatomic gas. And there are n molecules inside this container, and each molecule is having a mass small m. The molecules of the gas are in random motion. They collide with each other and also with the walls of the container. As the collisions are elastic in nature, there is no loss of energy but a change in momentum occurs. The molecule of the gas exert pressure on the walls. How? That is, during each collision, molecule exert pressure. This is because during each collision, the molecules impart certain momentum to the wall. Due to the transfer of momentum, the walls experience a continuous force. And this force experienced per unit area of the walls of the container determines the pressure exerted by the gas. It is essential to determine the total momentum transferred by the molecule in short interval of time. That is, to calculate the pressure, we have to find out the total momentum transferred in a short interval of time t, or say delta t. A molecule of mass m moving with a velocity v, having components Vx, Vy, Vz, hits the right side of the wall, as shown here. Now we will consider a single particle whose velocity is v vector. Its components are Vx, Vy and Vz. Vz is not shown in the figure, only Vx and Vy, because it is a two-dimensional figure. I could express only Vx and Vy. Vz is also there in three-dimensional case. Now this particle moves with a velocity v and hits the right side of the wall. That is exactly at the oval shape shown at the right side. Let us enlarge it. So this is that picture. Since we have assumed that the collision is elastic, the particle rebounds with same speed and its x component is reversed. You could see there, the particle after hitting rebounds and its velocity gets changed due to the change in the x component of the particle. Initially its x component is Vx, now its x component changes to minus Vx. The direction changes. The x component of momentum of the molecule before collision is mx. The x component of momentum of the molecule after collision is minus mvx. The change in momentum of the molecule in x direction is therefore final momentum in x direction minus initial momentum in x direction. Final momentum in x direction is minus mvx minus the initial momentum, which is mvx. So we'll get minus 2 into m into vx. So according to law of conservation of linear momentum, the change in momentum of the wall, that will be equal to 2m vx. In a small interval delta t, a molecule with x component of velocity vx will hit the wall if it is within the distance vx into delta t from the wall. That is, all molecules within the volume A into Vx into delta t only can hit the wall in time delta t. But on the average, half of these are moving towards the wall and the other half away from the wall. Thus, the number of molecules with velocities Vx, Vy, Vz hitting the wall is all in time delta t is half A into Vx into delta t into n, where n is the number of molecules per unit volume. This is an approximation. That is why we have introduced that factor half. Avx delta t into n, Avx delta t into n is the total number of molecules within that volume. But the particles within that volume may not be having a velocity Vx. Some of the particles may have a velocity minus Vx also. So on an average, we'll take half of the particles are moving towards the wall in a time delta t. The total momentum transferred to the wall by these molecules in time delta t is Q is equal to 2mvx. 2mvx is the momentum transferred due to a single particle. And we have half NaVx delta t, number of particles within that volume, so that they will hit the wall in a time duration delta t. So the total momentum transferred to the wall in a time delta t is momentum transferred by each particle into the total number of particles hitting the wall in time delta t. So it is 2 into m into Vx into half NaVx delta t. The force on the wall is the rate of momentum transfer. Rate of momentum transfer means Q by delta t. And pressure is force per unit area. So when you divide the momentum transferred Q by A into delta t, you will get the pressure. So pressure P is equal to Q divided by A into delta t. That is, if you divide A into delta, if you divide the above equation, that is Q by A into delta t, we could see that the terms which remains in the above equation will be m, n, Vx into Vx, Vx square. So we have n into m into Vx square. So the pressure generated is n m Vx square. Since all the molecules are moving completely in random manner, they do not have same speed. So we can replace the term Vx square by the average Vx square bar. Therefore, P is equal to n into m into Vx square bar. Now, the gas is isotropic. That is, there is no preferred direction of velocity of the molecules in the vessel. Therefore, by symmetry, we have Vx square is equal to Vy square is equal to Vz square. The mean square speed is written as V bar square is equal to Vx square plus Vy square plus Vz square, which is equal to 3 into Vx square, or Vx square bar is equal to 1 by 3 V square bar. So substituting this value in the above equation, we have P is equal to 1 by 3 into N into M into V square average. So this equation shows that the pressure of a gas depends on the number density N, where small n is equal to capital N divided by V. V is the volume. For example, when we pump air inside the cycle tire or a car tire, essentially the number density increases and as a result the pressure increases. The equation also shows that pressure increases with increase in mass of the molecule. This is because the pressure arises due to momentum transfer to the wall. So larger mass will have larger momentum for a fixed speed. As a result, the pressure will increase. The equation also shows that the pressure depends on mean square speed, that is V square average. For a fixed mass, if you increase the speed, the average speed will also increase. As a result, the pressure will increase. For simplicity, the cubical container is taken into consideration. The above result is true for any shape of the container, as the area A does not appear in the final expression. So we have pressure of a gas in terms of kinetic theory or kinetic interpretation is 1 by 3 N into M into V square average.